Hi Butterfly, it's Eva Lane from anxiousrelief.com, and today I want to talk to you about what you can do when your anxiety leaves you feeling completely uninspired. Sure, you know the feeling. It's when you've just completely lost motivation. It's like you've got zero energy whatsoever, and it's like it can go two ways. Either you can't make your way through all of the thoughts to get to the point where you know what action to take, or you simply don't know where to start. It's like your mind is a complete and utter blank. Now, I want to assure you, no matter which type of, you know, uninspiration or unmotivation you're feeling, the technique that I'm going to teach you is going to completely help you with that. So, in my work as a Reiki healer and energy healer, and helping women specifically with anxiety, lack of motivation and lack of inspiration is something that comes up very, very often with my clients. And usually a woman will come to me and say, I am just so tired. I don't know what I'm doing. And even if I did know what I was doing, I wouldn't know where to start. So the first piece of advice that I always give to a woman who comes to see me for lack of motivation is you just have to stop with this thought pattern. And I know that sounds really, really difficult when all you can think about is this lack of motivation, but truly just acknowledging that this is an issue and saying to yourself, I'm going to make a conscious effort to stop what I'm doing really, really helps. So you do this by simply taking a step back, and you look at yourself and you say, yeah, I'm completely unmotivated. I'm completely uninspired. And you do so in a way that isn't full of emotion and isn't full of that feeling of uninspired. You distance yourself from that. You take a step back. You kind of not remove the emotion, but step out of the emotion. And you factually say, yes, I'm uninspired. I'm lacking motivation right now. So that's the first step. Simply to stop and take yourself out of the emotion of it all. Step two, once you've stopped and you've recognized factually what you're going through with your lack of motivation, you do a step which is what I call allowing the stillness. So that means you've stopped and you stay stopped for a while. And you step back in and you completely allow yourself to feel the stillness of doing nothing. And it can be quite uncomfortable for someone who really wants to move forward, who really feels stuck, who really would do anything to move ahead. However, it's a really important step to really allow yourself the luxury of stepping into how you're feeling and kind of examining the stillness. And if you want to get really woo-woo or energy healing about it, you can visualize yourself inside a bubble of white light, and inside this bubble of white light, the stillness completely surrounds you. And you can almost feel like you're putting this white light under a microscope where you can see the little cells of white light. And around those cells, you put more space of stillness. And you just magnify the stillness again and again and again until you're creating more stillness and more space around yourself. And if you keep repeating this, putting those cells under a microscope and those cells under a microscope and those cells under a microscope and just keep on repeating it, you can come into a place where you're feeling infinite stillness. Complete and utter stillness that just completely envelops you. And it's in this stillness and it's in this space that you get the emancipation from the feeling of stuckness, because you're no longer thinking about being stuck and trying to find an action to move forward on. You've completely diverted where you're focusing, and you're now focusing on the stillness and creating more stillness and being in that stillness and allowing that stillness. And in doing that, you're creating more stillness, which is putting you into a creative mindset. It's switching your energy into a creative way of being. Now, this is important because you've moved from the stuckness and suddenly you're creating. You might feel like you're just creating white light, you're just creating stillness, you're just creating space, but you're still actually creating. And what I want you to do is to sit in that place of stillness and space and keep creating more of it and sitting in that infiniteness of the stillness and the space until you feel a spark. And it might take 5 minutes to come to you. It might take quite a while longer to come to you. But if you just sit in this stillness and space and just allow it to be there without pushing anything, you'll get a little spark or a little nudge of something that you would like to do. Now, this might be completely unrelated to what you had originally hoped that you would do, but it doesn't matter, because any type of action, any kind of motivation, any kind of inspiration is still action and motivation and inspiration. And it might feel like it's completely unrelated, but trust me, butterfly, when I say it's not. Action, motivation, inspiration, they are all the same thing. They are all the same energy. And once you're on a track of being motivated and inspired and aligned, you'll continue on that. One good action, one good thought will lead to another good action and another good thought. It's just like with your anxiety, a negative thought leads to another negative thought, leads to another negative thought. When you get into a space where you consciously create some positivity and a positive spark or a positive thought comes to you, and that's followed by another positive thought, another spark of inspiration, another piece of motivation or alignment for action. And that will lead you on a positive upward spiral. So that's the third step. You need to just find what it is that comes to you, find what it is that nudges you, find that spark that ignites, and take some action on it when you feel it's right. And this only comes to you from a place of stillness, where you have allowed yourself the space to just be and to create more stillness and to create more space. And of course, that only happens when you stop yourself in that pattern of, I'm so unmotivated, I'm so uninspired, I simply can't get myself to move and work. You need to break that pattern first. So I'm Eva Lane. Please come over to anxiousrelief.com. I have a whole bunch of free energy healing guided meditations that you can download completely for free. I'll put that link at the bottom of this video. Love and light.